question mark. Once you get into it, you can kind of figure out about how much it's going to cost. And with eBay, I mean, the shipping costs, you got to count against it basically. No matter if they pay shipping or you pay shipping, it really doesn't matter, because if the product's worth $100, that's what they're going to pay. If they got to pay shipping, then they're only going to pay, if it's $10 shipping, they're only going to pay $90 for it. So you can advertise it for $100, do free shipping. And with eBay, they give discounts for priority. Sometimes priority shipping is cheaper than your lesser standard shipping. So they give pretty good discounts. You can go through eBay. There's several applications you can use to ship. He mentioned one over there that I hadn't heard of for shipping. But it's just the cost that you've got to, I mean, basically when you're getting the product, you got to guess. And I'm, from doing it for so long, I can pretty much guess what it's going to be about $6 or $7 ship. It's going to be 10, 15, and then basically what I purchased the product on that, taking off 15% and everything. I'm not saying if I can get something that's about $100 product, if I can get it for $50, $60 or less, I know I'm going to make a profit. I like to get it cheaper, but you know, now smaller items, if you got a $10 item, you know, that's pretty much, unless you can ship it first class, which is under 13 ounces. If it's not under that, then it's going to cost you no matter what, $5 or $6. So you're not going to make anything, you know, once you figure you got $8.50. What if it's $10? You're going to make $8.50, and then shipping $4 or $5, and you're down to $2 or $3. So if you don't get it for 50, so you don't want to mess with that. You don't want to just go through all that and make $1 or $2.
What was your $1,000 item?
It was a Wurlitzer, one of the first Wurlitzer electric pianos. And it was about that big.
And very heavy.
That was it. You know, it was one of those things, and this helped me, the eBay app. I looked it up and said, oh, you know, and but two, you can do that with this eBay app, and it may not be the exact same thing. You really don't know. You get it home and you look at it, find model numbers and things like that on them. So I've got burned doing that before too. So luckily this one didn't. And somebody from Texas, I sell stuff all over the world, but somebody from Texas bought it. I mean, you with eBay, you can sell anywhere in the world, and it works out pretty good.
Eric, when you're buying something, and as you said, you get it home and you can check it out, you can see if you've really gotten what you thought you were buying, etc. This, I think you called it the drop ship, where you're basically buying, you never touch it,
Right.
and you ship it on. New items from reputable companies and folks, and I understand from my wife, who does a lot of buying and selling, primarily selling
Right.
on the web through her business, mainly her products. I've learned a lot, but where you're buying used items that you never see and then reselling. One of the things I've learned from Maria is that the reputation score
Mm-hmm.
right. for your company is incredibly important.
Right.
Have you had concerns about thinking you were buying something that would work and how it was represented, reselling it, but never laying hands or eyes on it? Has that come back to bite you at all?
Okay. First of all, with doing it that method, I don't buy anything that's used.
Okay.
So everything's new.
That makes sense.
But you hit on the point of what the feedback on eBay. If y'all ever on eBay, you said that they've got 100%, and that's very important to keep up. And it's even more important for Amazon. They can just boot you out and you're gone forever. Amazon is, eBay has got that. Basically, that's your point system, and they provide feedback. And unfortunately, you're going to lose some money this way. Somebody's going to get something, you just have to trust them, because eBay's heavily in favor of the buyer. Now, they will work with you. I've called them many times. But if the buyer says there's something wrong with the product, you're going to have to refund the money. Now, because of that score, if they give you score, you go down from you start dropping down into the 95 percentile, and people will quit buying from you. So you have, we've got 100%, and it's because I do that. I mean, and they'll send you a message or something, you know, they may be right, I mean, but, you know, when you wrap an item with 5 layers, and that's another thing with it, be sure to wrap your items good. But as much wrapping, it's gonna cost you a little money, but then it's gonna keep the product from getting damaged. And another thing on the side there that, when you pay for that, the insurance, it doesn't really work. I've done that through FedEx and UPS. You never get your money back. They'll figure something out that you packed it wrong or whatever. So you don't. I don't mess with insurance unless the buyer wants it. But yeah, you have to keep that up, your rating up. So if they say, hey, something's wrong with the product, you just got to. Now there's a process now that eBay's got where they can just hit return on their computer, and then they got to go through the process. If they pick a certain thing, then you've got to pay for the shipping back, or something else, then they have to pay for the shipping back. Most of the time I've dealt with that has been smaller items. It's not worth the shipping. I just refund their money and let them keep it. I might have bought it for $5 and sold it for $50, you know, and the time they ship it back, or I pay the shipping back. So you're gonna lose some money that way, but it's just something you gotta know going into eBay. It may be a little frustration, you know, you wrap the product good and, you know, they're not telling the truth, but it's just the way it is. Now, I've had situations where I've called eBay and they've corrected it, but most of the time you're going to lose that battle.
Eric, just a quick suggestion. You're into the dollar volume. You might want to check into accepting credit cards.
Well,
Instead
through PayPal, you can use a credit card. Now,
well, I understand, but if you get PayPal out of it, because PayPal, their fees are awfully high.
Right.
And in fact, on larger purchases, you'll see in there where PayPal is not accepted over the amount of a deposit. You know, you can send them $500 through PayPal, but if it's $5,000, they say, I don't want PayPal or more. And if you would accept the credit card directly, now that can be a little risky, but if you're willing to accept that risk, and it's more risky from the buyer's perspective, because they're giving you your credit card information, or their credit card information. If they're willing to do that, your fees are much less. You can get down to 1.5% or less.
I actually have done that before, except somebody had requested that. And that's the only reason I did it. And I have put in some of my listings that I would accept. eBay initially frowned on anything other than PayPal because they, eBay and PayPal, eBay own that PayPal, but I think they're separating now or something. But yeah, I have done it before, and that is a good point. When I first got started, that's what you had to do. I mean, there's no other option.
Yeah, that's getting started. But you're getting to the point now where you can start looking at these percentages.
Yeah.
And because you're paying quite a premium for that payment.
Right. That's a good idea.
Even when you move up even higher, then you go to direct bank drafts, which is again even riskier. Right. But if you trust the people, you talk to them, and you can do that with direct bank draft. And then you got no transaction costs at all, really.
That's good.
Two questions for you. One,
Two questions.
Yay! Two questions. One, I sell horses all over the world as well.
Okay.
I sell overseas, and I've got them all in like 22 states now.
Oh, cool.
And the shipping portion is always a problem. One of the things that I have found that I can do as a seller is there are certain people that I just don't like, and I don't let them buy another horse from them.
Right.
Because it just ends up being you're on the phone with them for 4 months afterwards about little small things here or there and
Right.
everywhere. You know, how do I put the bid in right and stuff.
Right.
So can you, well, I know I can follow a certain seller, but can you block certain buyers?
Yeah, and that's what I do when I have a problem. In your homepage section of the eBay account, down at the bottom, you'll look, there's a block. You can block. You can go down, click on that, and go in and type in whatever their eBay name is, and it'll block them from. And I've got a pretty good list because same thing. So I don't want the boss up running into problems or So as soon as I have a problem, I go ahead and put them down there, and they never came back anymore. And two, you know, it's just good to do, because if they get upset at you, they can come on and buy something else from you and cause you even more problems. So you want to get them out of the way.
Now, does that affect your scoring?
No,
Okay,
no,
thank you.
Helps it protect it in the future is what it does.
yeah, yeah. You know, a lot of people you just can't trust. I mean,
Right.
I love this. Do you have things like, I'm a helper, and every place I go, if I see something that I think somebody else wants, I'll be like, oh, I'll get this for so-and-so. What kind of things are like you always excited about that sell that
Coffee.
if we saw it, we could,
you mean excited?
or things that, yeah, that go really well that you know? I mean, does it trend or?
Yeah, it's, well, like I said, for me, it's the electronics. If I can find, you know, there's a lot of people don't look for it. Now, if you, it's stuff that you know, like in collectibles, I mean, some of them sell real good. I mean, if you know, there's not a lot of them, and it's a little bit more rare. Some of them old Christmas ornaments, I love finding them, because a lot of those are collected. My mom's got a collection from, I don't know, her, or my sister-in-law started giving her these ornaments, these Hallmark ornaments from day one, 20, 30 years ago. I started looking some of them up, and in the box, them things are worth $100, $150, you know. And that's the key, finding something in the box, but it still sells, but, you know, so it's whatever you like. You know, if you got something you like and you start researching, well, I can make this on eBay if I find this, you know, it's just great. And that's a lot of the fun is finding the things in this business. We like to hunt just almost as much as sell. Now, I like the $1,000 over 30 deal, but you know, to answer that, you just got to find something that gets you excited.
I had I moved or sold my house, and my kids had a game closet, and they went to college. I had every game you could imagine.
Yeah.
And I let them pick out the ones they wanted, and the rest of them I put them out in the yard sale. Well, somehow my childhood cootie game got in the yard sale stuff
Oh, yeah.
with $1 on it. Well, I would never sell that anyhow. I don't care how much money. But I saw this man standing there, and he was almost shaking. And he's like, is this really $1? And I'm like, no, that's my cootie game. You can't have that. I don't know if you're old enough to know about cootie, but it was the coolest thing. And so he's like, do you mind if I just like look it up and see what I'm, come to find out, he was a game seller. And he got my cootie game out, and it had all the parts. Every cootie had all its legs, everything, and it was worth $100.
Yeah.
He said I could sell this on
Yeah.
eBay for $100
Yeah.
today. And I'm like, he's like, please, I'll buy it from you for, $10. And I'm like,
The
no.
10, no, it's at 50 now.
And he thought, I said, I bet you were freaking out because you were gonna get this for $1. And I was like, but it will never be sold. I can't believe my daughter stuck it in there because she didn't know.
Yeah, that's something
Is it like your holy grail,
That is something that gets me excited, to be honest, with old toys and stuff, you know. If I find even real early toys like marks and stuff that's still made out of tin, but those are real hard to find and rare.
And something he hadn't told you, you said it had all the parts, and it made me think of this, is he's found those toys that didn't necessarily have all the parts, and he'd find them, he'd bring them home, and I'd be going, honey, that's not complete, you can't sell that. Yeah, I'm gonna part it out. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he will.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he'll
is.
sell a piece of a toy for $30. I'm like, really? It's a piece of a toy, you know?
I found
Get
that.
the piece you need.
So that's another route you can
Yeah, I
go.
have an old dresser that I was looking for 2 knobs, and I bought a whole nother dresser that I didn't want because it had the Bakelite knobs that I needed. And I'm like, okay, here's this dresser. I just want these knobs, yeah.
So if you find something that's not necessarily all there, it doesn't mean it's not gonna sell.
Knobs.
Yeah, you can sell parts.
Art Deco
Yeah,
knobs are
if you're
big.
excited about that, you can sell that.
Man.
That's what she was talking about. I found it one time, y'all remember the G.I. Joe Navy ships? This thing was about that big, about that wide back in the 70s. It had just about all the parts there. But I found out by just selling the parts, I could make a lot more money.
It was too much to
So
ship it, so he parted it out and made a whole lot more money off it.
Yeah, there's all that kinds of ways to make money out there.
Have you thought about, a lot of the people that have products that put them in different stores and stuff like that, get a portion amount of that back in. Have you thought about taking those people and saying, hey, I'll sell it for you on eBay for a fee? And
I've
process it?
thought about that, but I'm so darn busy doing what I'm doing now that for me to sell for other people,
See, if eBay is set up to where anybody can, if you got something you want to sell, one item,
Right.
you can jump on there and do it.
Now, eBay has some rules now where it's a little, you're not gonna get the money immediately. If you first start out on eBay now, they kind of hold the money for a while. They want to make sure that you're gonna ship it on time and follow all their procedures. And after a little while, they'll start releasing the money right into your PayPal account. But for a little test period, they won't. But if that's right, just about anybody can get on there and get the money. I mean, if you're initially opening an account and getting started, it's going to be a little slower getting your money.
You made it pretty clear when you started your discussion that this was home-based side business. I think I know the answer to this, but any thought at all about any ways to perhaps grow this in the future in a way that it's not just a little side business?
Oh, yeah. This is, I know for sure this will be my retirement income, so I'm not too worried about 401ks and all that. I've got one, but I know I'll be, because I enjoy it, we enjoy this, and, but, yeah, for instance, that, where I was getting these training videos with DS Domination, I mean, he does it, and he shows on, as well as he shows online, because you can tell with the clear background and everything, most of those people, if you see it on eBay, they're selling from another country. And another thing I've learned is things you're buying, you're not getting the cheapest for it. I mean, there's, if you go to Walmart, it's probably not the cheapest deal you're going to get. You can probably get it online cheaper, have it shipped to your house free. And he's made over $1 million, doing that. So there's people making their living. I know if I went full time with it, I probably could. But
Would you involve other people? Would you employ other people?
Probably would, and especially with the part with looking on the internet, finding products, I could hire somebody to, and there's ways I can do that now. There's companies out there online that will do that kind of stuff for you. You just got to pay them to find those products. And with that kind of deal, you have to have, and this DS Domination has a setup to where they'll check and see if that product's in stock, because what's happened to me, we're doing it this way, with the drop ship, is you go, you send you the money, well, you go to pay it, it's not there anymore. So, then you gotta get out and try to find it somewhere else. If you don't find it, then you gotta refund the money.
Yeah.
Because and eBay and Amazon don't like it at all, so that's one of the problems with it. But you have to hire. If you can't do it yourself, you have to hire somebody to go in every day and check, make sure that product's still there. If it's not, take it off your listing. But I've done that before and found it cheaper. Somewhere a bucket this winter when it was cold, there was a lot of these buckets with heaters on them selling. I found one in Rural King for like $15 online. I shipped it. I sold it for $50 and where I was looking to sell it from, it wasn't there, so I went searching around more, and I found it at Rural King for $15, so I bought it from there and shipped it out to them. Sometimes you get lucky.
Have you sold anything on Facebook?
No, I don't know. Have we sold it? I don't think
We sold one thing on Craigslist, but.
Yeah, we've sold, I think I've sold a couple things on Craigslist. Some of the heavier items that I want to ship are time I buy it, get it home, and the time I get to figure what the shipping's gonna be and the cost and everything, it's not gonna make any money, so I'll try Craigslist or something like that, or sell it or
He
whatever.
said we do have an antique booth, so a lot of things that he finds it's not going to be profitable on eBay, we can always put it in there.
Yeah.
Do you watch those groups on Facebook at all? The ones that, for sale in Hopkins County or for sale in
Yeah.
Madisonville? There's a big, kind of, I guess, underground selling thing going on there. And even in Bowling Green, I have a lot of friends that live in Bowling Green, so I belong to one that's really good there. And if I see something that I want, I'll just call one of my friends, because they have a whole deal where they meet in this Kroger parking lot. I
Is
mean,
that
it's-
right?
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
good.
That's the only place that you would trust someone to meet.
Yeah.
Is in this Kroger parking lot on Scottsville Road. And
That's
I'll
good.
call my friend and say, hey, will you go meet this person and get these boots for me? Yeah, and then, I go
That's
to Bowling
good.
Green a couple times a month. And yeah, so there's
We have looked at that,
cheap
and
stuff
I
on there.
haven't found anything too profitable for me on doing that, but I don't look at it all the time. I don't know if you know, maybe I just don't know how to do it, but list something in 5 minutes, it's off the page and gone, you know. If you're not watching it a lot, then you're gonna miss items, or if it's something really good, I mean, it's sold just like that, you know. It takes a lot of time,
Easier than driving around the yard sale.
yeah, well,
You know, and I mean, you could do it late at
I
night, but
enjoy
there's no
it.
yard
That's
sale
the
going
problem,
on.
I like doing that, so.
Yeah, the first auction we went to, I thought he thought I was crazy, I think, and then he got hooked.
Yeah, I didn't like it before I
Yeah, the auctions and
got
yard
into
sales.
this business, but now I kinda enjoy going out finding things.
There were a couple of Sacramento yard sales yesterday, when we were out driving around.
Is that right?
Yeah. Bunch of stuff, go to Sacramento.
Eric, is storage an issue for you?
That's good.
Organizing what you have?
That's a good question, yeah. Our garage is slam packed full right now.
No parking, couldn't have car garage in a.
Say, Bruce is going to speak
Yeah.
up.
So I have thought about calling Bruce, yeah. It is a problem.
Well, see now, if you come out there Saturday morning and you can find whatever bays or all of them that we got for sale, they're already moved, already there, you just close the door, hang your lock
That's
on
good.
it, pay next
That's
month's rent.
That's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, but that is a problem with storage. Now, obviously, more of the bigger items. Usually, the smaller things I get, I can sell them pretty quick.
And we found with him just starting doing this Amazon, that's one good thing about it, is he's doing the Prime, so all he has to do is inventory it, stick it in a box, ship it to Amazon, they store it.
Yeah, they store it.
It's not at my house.
Right. I've got it set up with shelves and everything I can store. And usually, I try to put everything listed for 7 days, and, you know, if it sells, and I can get it out, and then if it goes for a long period of time, doesn't, I take it to our booth. And you're gonna gather a lot of stuff that doesn't sell, either in the booth or there. What I do with that stuff is you ever heard of Hunt's Auction and Dawson or any of these auction places? You can take it and set it there, people will buy it. You're probably not gonna get your money out of it, but you're gonna get rid of it, you're gonna get some money back, so. The storage, yeah, that's.
You put it all in one storage bay, and then set it up in the lineup, so the next time we have a sale, the whole bay goes.
That's a good idea.
That's what I do. We're cleaning out our basement
Yeah.
now.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that, Bruce. You can take it all down there, and I'll pay my bill and he'll sell it for me.
We'll work something out.
All right.
You pay the rent, I'm happy.
Spencer's always working a deal, isn't he?
That's right. That's right.
Any more questions? It's been a good business for us. We enjoy doing it. Like I said, I foresee when I retire, this income keeps coming in. And, you know, if it works into full time, we may look at that in the future, but right now,
Yeah, we have 2 kids in
right
college.
now, yeah, we have 2 kids in college, and kind of trying to get another one off the ground, started in his own life, so we got a lot of money going out, and I don't want to give up the job.
Do the kids, are they interested in doing it at all?
They're not interested at all.
My son sold a couple things on eBay, and like Eric said, with phones and iPads, you kind of have to watch the scammers, and
Yeah, you got scammed.
he got scammed selling an iPad.
Kind of
He got a fake email that it was in his PayPal account, ready to ship, and all this stuff. It all looked legit. Eric even
Yeah.
looked at the email, and it looked legit. He shipped
There
the
you go.
thing, never got the money, found out the guy had scammed him and went overseas somewhere.
Yeah, that's something I didn't mention. If you do this, be careful. You get an email, and they've got it set up where it looks just like it's coming from PayPal or eBay. And one of the things is they say, your purchase of so-and-so, we've received your payment for purchase of so-and-so, and it's something you know you haven't bought, right? And you're thinking, I didn't buy nothing, and if you don't stop and look, and down at the bottom it'll say, if you believe this purchase is incorrect, click this link, log in here, and you can cancel it. Well,
Don't click.
if you click on that link and go and log in, then they've got all your login information, and they can get in and take just about anything you want, so. And in this particular case, it was somebody overseas that bought it, and they were trying to rush in. They sent the PayPal link coming in that said he paid for it, but it never did show up. And when he found out later, he started checking his account, and the money never showed up. And he kept looking, and he used to think he got taken, so he already shipped it
If
out.
that hadn't happened, he'd probably be into it, but he's kind of leery now.
Yeah, getting the kids involved, if they were, I could, instead of paying them an allowance or whatever, I could probably hire them.
It's called the cost of education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
How far out, have you tried Newburgh and Evansville, or?
I've been, for y'all that don't know, there's these long yard sales, 100-mile long yard sales. Those are the best ones to do. I love going on those. 'Cause you get out of town. We've been to auctions up in Indiana and Illinois and Tennessee. So we travel around, we'll take off. And, you know, we want to go, and that's the great thing about the small waste. You deduct all your mileage, expenses, and things come out of that. And, yeah, we've been.
We want to go on a trip, we work an auction into it.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Or an auction. And you can find a Walmart anywhere, so if you go out of town, go in there, buy a few things. You know,
There you go.
you got a deduction, so that's what, when I started out with small, I enjoyed tax advantages of that. And so I kind of had one, 20, 30 years, I guess I've been doing different things. This one works the best. And
Well, it's a good thing because we can do the looking for items together, and then when he was bush hogging, I mean, he was out every night, you know, during the summer, 10:30, 11, wasn't home for supper, and this way, he's in the house. He may be at the computer, but he's in the house. You know?
Yeah, I found a tractor got lights on them, so I push off until 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Any other questions? Eric, thank you very much. Every business is different, and one of the exciting things about 1 Million Cups is that we learn about different business sectors, but we also hear that much of the entrepreneurial journey is the same, and that's the exciting part. How many people are here for the first time in 1 Million Cups this morning? Okay. So, yeah, put your hands down, girl. Welcome. Hope you'll come back. And I'm curious, for those who, I know what brought you all today in presenting. There were a couple of other hands back here. What brought you today?
School.
I told them I could ask a question and they didn't. So who's your teacher?
Miss Johnson. Felicia.
Felicia, okay.
Okay,
When
excellent.
would you come back?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Well, you'd be welcome. We're glad to have you here. Bring other people, yes. I'm going to get to that. But first, I wanted to mention that next week we're having a presentation by Joe Geffert with the USDA, and he'll be educating us about some available resources there. And so that'll be good. And then as a sneak peek, June 3rd at 1 Million Cups, we'll have Laura Benson, who is the CEO of Philly Flair. And she is based in, let's see if I can pull that out. She's away from here. In any event, she is the keynote speaker the previous day, Tuesday, June 2nd, and at the Create Your Future Women's Conference. And there's a business leaders panel at 11 a.m., 11:45, a luncheon. It's going to be at the Ballard Center. And for those of you that are interested, write this number down. For reservations, call, of course, 270-821-1939. Anything else that I'm missing in getting information about the women's conference?
Tickets are $20.
Okay.
She's from South.
South Dakota, thank you. I knew it was
Cool.
somewhere in that direction.
And she's also made her business into a multi-million-dollar business. So it's an amazing story of a grassroots business that she wanted to stay home with her children.
I think she's still in her 20s from what Ruth
Yeah,
and
she's
Dad
not very
said.
old.
Yeah, so pretty amazing story. So if you need more information on that, let any of us know. We'll be happy to get that to you. Come back, bring people with you. Have a great week.